there's even more disproportionate share of hunger in our U.S. cities. So, of course, this is my cause. I'm going to be doing it on hunger in urban America. And really, even as a nation, of course, we produce the most food in the world. We still have one of the highest rates of hunger in any industrialized nation. So when we look at, the prevalence in U.S. cities where hunger is, of course, is, again, disproportionately amount in low-income areas. So one of the first, they give you, I was going to show a statistic on here, but it wouldn't pull up, but first up, in 27 U.S. cities that were surveyed in one of these surveys, all of them requested a food emergency assistance increase by 24% over the years. Also, another statistic showing the prevalence of hunger is that in the families that are affected by it, or the demographics that are affected by hunger, 56% of those people are families, and also 30% of those people were employed. So by that, it also shows that, another stereotypical belief we had is like most people, that, try to, get help for hunger, they might be single or unemployed, or don't have a job, or maybe even, a drug fiend. But it actually shows that almost the common American is pretty much trying to get access for food now. And also, the Food Research and Action Center found that 17% of households in U.S. cities found that, those households were food insecure. So that is another big statistic. And that's compared to 14.6% as opposed to other areas, to the rest of the country. And really, when you compare that statistic to like its own population and where it's at, because in U.S. cities tend to be poorer than the rest of the nation, so that, number is compared to all of the nation. So that includes pretty much all of the richer areas where almost no hunger is experienced. Now, with it being widespread in cities, one of the major, again, causes of hunger, probably the main cause, is because of course, there's no money for food, and the high cost of living too. The high cost of living makes it really hard to get food access in America. Okay, so another statistic, for example, New York City, as you know, is really expensive to live in. So if you were to move from Indiana to New York City, your cost of living would go up by 64%, and then your housing itself would go up by as much as 365%. So again, it's really hard to afford food. And then also, the SNAP program, that's pretty much what we call food stamps now. Many people really don't claim their benefits, as opposed, usually people think that, it's really being taxed out. There's actually been over $1 billion in unclaimed benefits in the year 2008 alone. So that money could, if we really raise awareness of people trying to get access to this program, that money could go to feeding people. And also, so what can you really do, to really stop this hunger problem? Well, first, again, we have to raise awareness of how prevalent hunger is in U.S. cities. Many people think that, we don't take hunger that seriously here because, ourselves, most of us are well fed, but there's also many other families, that go hungry. So one of these resources that I did personally, that I went to, was Metropolitan Ministries. And what we did here is, again, it's not also a food kitchen, but they also provide housing, and they also provide money for some of these people to also get their food access to themselves too, because again, one of the main causes of hunger, like I said, was lack of money to purchase food. I mean, people, if it comes down to it, will choose food over housing. So that is really important. But again, my main point, another thing to really do for us right now, even if we can't volunteer, is to raise awareness. If we really do raise awareness, I mean, we can do a lot of things. And we have to acknowledge, of course, too, that it is a major problem. And then other resources that you can do is getting involved in Feeding America. That's really one of the biggest organizations that get involved with solving hunger. And then there's the Vineyard Committee that tries to, it's pretty much like a lobbying organization for Congress, but it tries to involve